Hey Sainers, welcome to the round 14 match review back at the hotel in Brisbane. It was 126 to 106, if you can believe it. Both teams kicking over 100 points. We go down by 20. Firstly, just before I forget, Ari, loved watching him go about his football today. He has to play every game for the rest of the season. Absolutely loved the way he kicked the football. His first kick was sublime and he was so composed on the ball under pressure. Awesome debut from him, and I think he got like 18 or 20 disposals. It was unbelievable. To the travelling fans, awesome effort. Cheer squad, very loud all night. Ari in particular, sitting next to me, was very, very vocal. We just took the game on. We actually just released the shackles and took the game on and played football that excites the fans, that kicks a lot of goals, that gives us belief in games like today where we know we kind of have to go for it because Brisbane kicks so many goals. They're a high-scoring team, especially at the Gabba, especially in the form that they have started to click into gear after last week against the Dogs. And, you know, it couldn't have been the worst prep. We'd missed Nasiah, Webster, Dukes is out, Membry's dropped. Before the game, Sharman's out, Tom Campbell comes in. Turns out the two rucks is actually not a bad idea, and I think it worked in our favour. Tom Campbell was extremely physical around the ground. Roll Marshall was more of the finesse type of ruckman around the ground. Midfield, for the most part, the first quarter, the clearances were 13-1 around the ground, like all up. Ridiculous, and we were 5 goals down. We could have lowered our heads at that point. It was 44-13. And given up, and the game could have blown out to, honestly, it could have looked like it was a 10-15 goal win to Brisbane. But we kept fighting, we kept taking the game on, and that last quarter was just a blur. Like, we kicked 7 goals to 4. It was 6 goals to 1 before a stupid free kick. The midfield dominance was really, really strong, but it was the half forwards. We got a clearance, but then our half forwards were always behind the Brisbane player. So they would take the quick intercept mark and then they'd flick it. The first half, they gave it to Zorko every opportunity, especially from a behind or a turnover in the back half. And he would fling it out, beautiful kick, unlock the game. They'd go down the guts, kick it long. And I think they were going in the first quarter, every 2 inside 50s, they kicked a goal. That's how efficient Brisbane were. We slowed that down. We started kicking goals ourselves pretty comfortably. Higgins bobbed up, King bobbed up, Owens was good early. Butler kicked a couple of his goals. And then the last quarter, it was Wood, it was Henry. It was these sort of guys that started to get going. We got it within 7 points. It was 106-99, if you can believe. And honestly, the sentiment before the game, there's so many Sainers that were questioning, why would I pay money to travel? Why would I go? It's just ridiculous. It's just mind-blowing that fans can actually say that. I went and had an amazing time. I sat in the cheer squad. They were so passionate. The players lifted. They gave us a game to really look back on and think, geez, that was an exciting Friday night game. Like, as a neutral, you would love that. And for a team that's been questioned on the way their brand of football all season, it's dour, it's slow, it's defensive, it's ugly, it's boring. It was none of that tonight. We took the game on. You couldn't have asked much more as a Sainer. If there's any Sainers watching this game and then watching this review and feeling disappointed, be disappointed that maybe we haven't played that brand of football all season, but don't be disappointed in the game itself. There's no way you thought that we were capable of doing what we did. We didn't win, but we gave it, like, this was the way to win. We needed to take the game on against Brisbane. There's no way you play defensive and win this game. We weren't keeping Brisbane to 7 goals like we did against Gold Coast. That's just not going to happen. But in terms of, the way we went about it, it was aggressive. It was fluid. It wasn't overcoached. Caminiti going back was a bit of a question mark on Danaher. I thought he had his moments, Caminiti, but obviously you just wonder what's the point. Like, we subbed off Zane Cordy, who had no impact. Bonner was shocking early, almost cost us 4 goals in the first half. But the foundation throughout the game, throughout the 4 quarters, similar to what it was last week and the back end of the West Coast game, was that we kept fighting. We fought it out. Our last quarter was strong. We almost snatched it. The disappointing thing from my end is we have a bye now. So we've just found something. We've found a spark. We've found goals. We've found some excitement on the football field. And now we have a bye. But we have to bounce back and bring that against Port at Marvel when we come back from the bye in round 16. So not great. We're 5-9. Obviously, season is, it doesn't matter really what you think of the rest of the season. It's just kind of step by step. And to think that we fielded such a young team tonight, they've come to the Gabba against the reigning grand finalists who are finding form and wanting to make the 8, have everything to play for. And then you kick 15 goals, 16 goals like we did and take it to them. So proud of the boys. Jack Steele was quiet for the majority of the game. I thought Windy did okay on Neil, but gave away a few free kicks that could have been avoidable. There was some questionable free kicks in there, that like the Rowan Marshall one on McInerney. I have no idea what the fuck that was for. Pardon my French. The forward line functioned more because we started to run it into the 50 more. We didn't actually just bomb it in. We had hands. Henry kicking his goal, Brad Hill, Higgins kicking a few long-range goals, Max King leading up. Good delivery to him for once. It looked open. It looked free. Our boys looked like they really rallied in the circumstances of, being undermanned, outgunned, and away from home in a hostile game. The Gabba's a fortress for Brisbane. So I was just, I'm not leaving the game thinking, what if? I'm thinking, bloody hell, we gave it a red hot crack, and I'm really proud of the boys, for once. I'm not going to be critical in this review. Some people might be annoyed about that, but I don't see the point because I didn't expect us to come here and kick over 100 points. If you had told me that before the game, I would have said you're absolutely dreaming. No chance. But we did. And we played exciting football. We got up and about in the last quarter. To kick 6 goals of the first 7 goals in the last quarter, that says something, We didn't buckle. We fired up. Ross gave them a big, big spray at quarter time, and they lifted. And for the next 3 quarters, we just didn't lower our heads. We didn't drop. We didn't give up. We kept going. And in the end, Brisbane, obviously, with a bit of class, in the end, get the job done. But a lot to like there. So leave your comments. Thanks, Saners. And I'll see you when I'm back in Melbourne. Take care. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.